Morning, James Green Short Series Shenanigans. Part number 2 of the Grizzly G0776 Tailstock Rebuild, Repair, Bonanza, Extravaganza mess. There we go. So giving a shout out to our buddy over there, Brad Jacobs, Maple Lane Machine Tool. He's got a pretty cool channel. Go check him out. Putting on my one of my aprons that I got for Christmas. I'm loving this. Loving these. Oilskin duster, or not duster. The reason I say that, I used to have an oilskin duster back in the day. So yeah, you get these on Amazon. I got myself one with some Amazon gift cards early for Christmas, and my son-in-law, with the help of my wife, looked in my Amazon shopping cart and saw that, so I ended up with 2 of them, which is perfectly fine, because as you can see, I've been using this one, getting it tied, and been getting it dirty with, you know, working on stuff for the motor there, for the 69 Ford, the FE motor sitting right there. So, here we go. Kind of show you what we got going on. So, this is the tailstock. It's set up right here inside the mill. I've already it took me a little bit to figure out this setup how I wanted it. But what we're doing is kind of a recap, okay, because I want to make sure you guys understand what's going on. So this is the original, and I've posted pictures on social media, Facebook, stuff like that. You can look me up. But, so this is the original cam lock, if you will. The screws in here. Okay, this is what helps lock the tailstock. This is the eccentric. Now, we're also going to make it bigger in here because this is the original one. Alright, I want to make this beefier. Number one, it's going to be longer because I'm going to make it go all the way through as opposed to just going through a little bit. And you can see it was this was, I'm sure, designed in the sake of let's save material. So you could see it was only being supported on that side by less than ½ an inch. It broke out due to design defect and rough movers of a moving company. And the helper, to give you an update, yes, the helper, I chewed him up one side and down the other and was about ready to put my size 10 up his butt. But the foreman that was on the job that saw it happen fired him on the spot, because that was like strike 3 where he had been tossing things and told not to. Consequently, so everyone knows, yes, I've tried to go to the moving company. Lots of stuff was broke. Tools are missing. About $5,000 worth of stuff was either damaged or stolen. And so yeah, they basically said, nah, file that on your homeowner's insurance. So I actually called the police department, filed a theft report, which they're buddy, and I'll probably never see anything out of it. So yeah, I know all in the comments are going to be, go after, make sure, blah, 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 you know. I'll just say this. I did pay good money, and you always go after, you know, you get what you paid for. I paid these guys good money. I thought they were friends of mine. They screwed me over. With what was damaged and lost actually cost me more than what I paid them. Long story short, putting it behind me, moving forward, looking on. This can be a modification. Let's say if you don't have a problem with, but you want to avoid, if you have one of these Grizzly G0776 tailstocks, we're going to improve it. Okay, I'm going to make a longer shaft. We're going to do away with, and I'm actually going to thread this back a little more because it's beefier. Okay, so this is all metric thread here. And I'm actually going to thread this back even more because I have more meat here, because I still want to keep this handle. And then we'll end up boring this out, and I'll show as much as I can on video to step aside from the boring stuff. So, with that in mind, set that over there. Now, so what I've done is I took into account, and we'll move you to the setup to describe what we got. So I was very cognizant of several things. Number one, I had to find me a bit that was going to go all the way through. This is 3/4. This was actually had a Morse 2 taper. I turned it down to 9/16. because I've got like 6 of these things. It's a 4-fluted, long shanked end mill reamer drill bit type thing, whatever you want to call it. I've already done a little bit of just test cut down here just to make sure we're centered up, X and Y, we're locked in. Describe the setup here. We've got it shimmed up so when we go through, we're not touching our bed. I made sure that we're not super clamped tight because I didn't want to crush the board of this. Side note, what little bit of drilling I've done so far, this is very hard cast material. That's a good thing. So we're going to go through here. I had to help. So we're supported here underneath. We're clamped on the top. We're held in with this really nice old school vintage, I think it's a Wilson. No, it's a Johansson. It's an old school Johansson. Matter of fact, I did a video way back of straightening when I got this and a pile of clamps. This one was actually bent up here on this end. So this is that big Johansson. It's got a big opening right here, you know, it's about 7 inches or so from here to here. But we've got it all locked in, tightened down, secured, bolted down. Hopefully nothing's gonna move. You guys know my videos, live and unedited. We've already warmed up the phase converter in the mill, let them run, pre-lubed, all that good stuff. So, with no further ado, I'm going to move you guys in a little bit. Now, I know it's going to get noisy, so warning if you guys have headphones on, noise warning, noise warning. So here we're going to fire up with the remote from the phase converter. Here we go. And now we're going to fire up the mill. And we are, let's see what we're running at. We're 660 RPM. So we're just going to feed down here slowly. And seeing as how it's cast steel, I'm not going to use any lube. And I'm just slowly hand feeding it. And it's going real easy. You guys can see I'm just real light pressure, letting the bit cut, and it's like butter. You can see I'm literally like just barely pressing down. Now we know once we get through a certain part it's going to drop down a lot. Literally I'm just it doesn't take much. I can feel it kind of jump, and plus I can feel the split part there. I can feel it jumping a little bit. Again, real light. I'm not getting carried away. I'm not in a hurry. I'm letting the bit do the cutting. Grab another bite. And we're through that area. Now, we'll pull this out. Shut the phase converter off. Now, what I'm going to do, because I know, so the hole on the bottom is a blind hole, and we're going to actually end up going all the way through, so it's going to take obviously a little bit more pressure. I'm going to peek down in here a little bit. Make sure I don't. Now I can look in here from the back and see. Let me move this out of the way. Oh yeah. Matter of fact, what I may do is move you guys over here so you can see the drilling action from this side, because that would be a cool angle. So bear with me while I move the camera. Okay. Let me get you guys set up here where you can see. You may have to back up and zoom in a little bit. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Done this. Alright, whoop. Alright, so you guys are going to be able to see what's going on here. You can see, if you look in there real close, you can see where it was cracked, or where it is cracked. You can see it right there at the top. And then this little piece busted. But up here, and now this crack actually stops right there. So this area up here is fine, and back here. The reason I didn't want to weld it is because I didn't want to go through the mess of heating the whole thing up, baking all the paint off, and changing tolerances and all that. So we decided to do this. So that's noise warning, phase converter, mill. I'm going to feed down through here now. That's funny. Alright, I was like, why doesn't it go down anymore? I reached the travel, so I need to raise the knee up. I was like, why is it going? Oh, wait a minute. So, this is going to be one of those. Got to crank the knee up. And of course, I'm going to have to drop it back down and get the bit and everything out. I was like, why isn't it going? Because I reached the end travel of the quill. I'm actually cranking it up into the hole. Alright, let's try that. Okay, noise warning. There we go. Now we're drilling. I was like, why aren't we drilling? This should get us through. Now this side I'm having to put considerable amount more pressure to get it to drill because it's solid. But it's going. You can see it's chewing through that grate. Yeah, putting some good pressure on it now, getting it to bite. I think we're almost through. Yeah, I can see it coming through the backside here. Alright, we got that through. Now, as you remember, this only goes part way through, and we went all the way through now because it's supported on the other side. And I'm not going to go all the way through. And let me go ahead and take the setup down. Let me back you guys up here so I can describe to you the method of the madness. It's easier for me to show you. So first thing we need to do is we've got to crank the quill down to get all this apart because I had to raise it up to get my bit to do the rest of my cutting. Okay, we're clear. Now let's see, the next thing I want to undo, let's do this clamp. Actually, yeah, let's do this clamp. Alright. And the next thing we're going to undo is this, and then the setup will come loose. It's pretty easy. There's my, there it is. Again, that wasn't very tight. is a very loose setup item. Slide it back. Alright. Slide this out of the way. It took longer to do the setup. Okay. I'm going to set this over on this side. So, method to the madness right here. Alright. So, move this out of the way, the Bondo. Blow that out. Alright. You can see how much Bondo that they put on these, and that's what I didn't want to do, was heat this whole thing, have to recenter the bores, mess with the, you know, the structural integrity as far as changing, you know, things due to getting it too hot. So you can see here, I didn't go all the way through, and there's a purpose behind it, or at least there is in my thought process. So I wanted to get further through, but I didn't want to go all the way over here. I still wanted to leave a little bit of a ridge. You know, I'm not too worried about this finish right here, but I'm gonna, you know, I'll clean it up. But I want it to go through enough to where I was supported way more, that you guys can see, than what it was supported just right there. So we've actually increased the support a good inch easily than just this little ½ inch. So we went back all the way through here. You can see where this area is cracked right here, and I may still do it. Is come in here depending on, but this was pressed out because of when the guy threw the part, and the other part that's on here, the shock and how it twisted it. But we went all the way through a good full inch back into this side of the casting. So the thought process is getting all the way through here. So now we have a longer piece that's more supported all the way through. And this is where it comes down to, back you guys up here. Whoop. So the thought process is at this point, and I purposely left this when I was doing the turning on the lathe. I left this long because we're going to come in here, and I purposely left this large, as you can see, which is fine. That's going to be, you know, there's plenty of room there. I left this long. I'm going to come back and I'll put this in the lathe and shorten this up. Now we have to set back up and do mill work. Also, because you can see how much we're going to go all the way through there now. So literally, I mean, I have to take off a couple inches there, which is not a big deal. We got to take off, like, what is it? A little over 2 inches, 2 inch, 100 thou, not a big deal. But I wanted to leave this out here where it was supported, more here and here, and especially here, coming out here, leaving a ridge here, because when this is supported, it's pulling down. So I've got that, instead of that little area, I've got that much more meat where it can pull down. I didn't want to come all the way through because I wanted to leave some rigidity here, whether that's going to help or not. Again, a lot of this is I'm making it up as I go, and sometimes if it's silly and it works, then it's not silly. There's a method to the madness. I've talked to the engineers at Grizzly. I honestly, in the bigger lathes, they go all the way through. Why they didn't do it on this one, I don't know. They said it's always been like that. To me, it's a shortcut, but they're all made in the same factory over in Taiwan. This is a mod you can do, because I get a full, well, let's see here. Throw a ruler in there, how much further? I'm getting a full 1 3/8 inches further this way, more support. Now, I'm measuring from the area that's broke. So if that area was not broke out, you'd have a full 1 3/4 inches worth of material. As you can see on this side here, where it's broke out, we lost a good, what is that? Let's get in there. Yeah, 3/8 of an inch. But if you come all the way back to here, it's nearly ½ an inch. So if you have this, pull it off, do the mod, drill all the way through. I may come in here and TIG this just for support. I don't know. Again, everything pulling down. We've got this side here. We got this side here. This isn't really a lot of structural integrity right here. The main body where the force is being pulled is held out here on the edge. That's where the main stress is right here, if you want to call it the truss area or the supported area. Out here, that's just, it's open air. There's no support. It just kind of guides it. So, which is good. Had this been cracked all the way back through to here, then yes. If it had been cracked all the way through the support area, yes, you'd see a whole different mod. I would pull all this apart, clean it up, clean all the coating, the paint, the body fill, bake it up, heat it up, TIG it, you know, all that. I didn't want to go through that. The deciding factor was that there wasn't a crack all the way through to this other side of the rib. Thus, that's why we just stopped here and did what we did. So, there you go. There's that part. And now we just got to do a little bit of mill work. Nothing fancy. Like I said, we're going to put a little drilling and tapping. You know, drill a hole, tap it, figure out the angle we want it on for our other bar. I've got to fit this onto this shaft as well. So that's going to be a little bit of boring work, and I'll probably set up and show you my little boring head that I use on this. So anyway, there we go. Thanks for watching. Until next time, James Green, Short Series Shenanigans. You guys get out in the garage, do something, have fun. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.